Jose, what did you make of the solution to play Fulham, and how does that impact on your preparations for the game?
The biggest impact is to have matches postponed. That is the biggest impact. The changing of, let's say, the order of the matches, the impact is, I would say, minimal, because in the end you have to play 19 matches at home and 19 matches away. You have to play 2 matches against every team. So if it's to help the Premier League to go and to hand properly, I think is a solution that we all have to accept as a positive solution.
Thanks, Simon. Jose, I know it's not a manager's fault, but there's been a lot made of players' celebrations in dressing rooms at the FA Cup. Is football on a bit of last chance saloon? Are you worried the government's going to call games off because the players aren't showing enough responsibility at the moment? And will you be reminding your players of the responsibilities they need to take?
Well, in terms of dressing room, I don't believe that at the Premier League level, in any team dressing room, we have this kind of celebrations just by winning 3 points in the Premier League. When you go down, when you go to FA Cup, when you go to the killing giants, when you know to these incredible moments in some clubs and players' careers, that can happen because it's the wild emotion of normal football that can push to that. I think now they will not repeat that. I think now with the exposure and the comments and the explanation of the risks, I think now the boys, even with that crazy happiness of a big day for them, they will control. During the matches at the Premier League level, the celebration of a goal, I think more and more is becoming less. I feel by myself, I don't even celebrate goals, almost. Because of the VAR, I adapt, or I went in a certain direction of controlling emotions that I believe the players can also do a little bit of the same. But the reality is that what come to the big exposure was some celebrations after matches in the dressing room, and in the normal situation that would be the beauty of football, the beauty of a small team beating a giant. But in this moment, even them, they have to control, they have to adapt.
And are we entering a crucial time with all this, and will you be speaking to some of your players to just remind them, they need to take they need to act responsibly in the wider climate?
We do it all the time. We do it all the time. Many times before the tactical meetings, we have meetings with the medicals and with the ones that have the responsibility to control. We have always data for the players. We have also advice. We have also explanation about the rules. We are very critic when we have a reason to be critic. So we all do our best, and we are all very happy when, like it happened today, for example, we got the results of the last testing, and we realize how well we are trying to do it.
Play in the Premier League. Play.
Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Obviously, Scott Parker's made his side really hard to beat lately. What do you need to do against them to make sure you're in control of this game?
this moment it's difficult to play against them. To defend the way they do with 5 in the back and sometimes a second line of 4, other times with 3. It's not easy to score goals against them. That's obvious. And then they have different ways of being dangerous. One thing is to be dangerous with Mitrovic, another thing is to be dangerous without Mitrovic. And they are good in these different situations. They can counter-attack well, they can arrive in crossing positions and create difficulties. They are a good team. They transform a little bit their philosophy. They understood well how to change. They did it. They are having results, and it's going to be difficult.
And have any of your players played their way into your starting 11 for Wednesday's match after their performances at the weekend?
Nothing to do one thing with another thing. I told before the game that was not the game to analyze performances, was the game to analyze attitudes and principles. And at that level, I believe that is not just me. I even had some whispers from other friends in football. Everybody admired the way my players faced that game, the respect that they faced that game. And at that level, I'm very pleased with everyone that was on that pitch.
Hey, Luis Restrepo.
Hello, Luis.
How are you? I know that you don't like to talk about individuals, but I'd like to ask you about Davinson Sanchez. What is your opinion about his performance? Because we saw him in one game being in the initial 11 and in the other ones in the bench. Do you think he's in a good level at the moment and he could be in the initial 11 in the rest, in the next games, for example?
It happens the same with all our central defenders. Davison, Alderweireld, Dyer, Rodden, Tanganga. It's not like one of them is playing every match and the other one is not playing. So Davison didn't play the last match, but played a few, and that's how it is.
The actual moment of Lo Celso, if you can
He's
say
injured.
something about it. He's injured, yeah.
He's injured.
He's going to be out for a long time.
A few weeks, yeah.
Okay, gonna move on. Here we go.
Hello.
Hiya. There's been a lot of reports about Harry Winks suggesting a loan move to Spain. Can you say anything about that? Has he got a future at Spurs?
What do I have to say to stop with this talk? I told already, it's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. So when I say it's going nowhere, what do you want me more to say? He played the last matches. He didn't play the last one. It was a decision to let play other players like Jetson and players that are not basically playing many minutes. Tomorrow he's selected again, and if somebody is speaking with other clubs, my advice is don't lose your time. Don't lose your time because he's going nowhere.
And quickly, Alfred Devine, he obviously captured a lot of attention that weekend with his big smile. Is he still smiling? What's his reaction been in training?
I don't know because I sent him back to the academy. When you reach that high moment, now it's time to go back to where he belongs, and it's time to calm down because, as you're saying, lots of lights on him. So now is moment to calm down and go back to academy. So I don't want to see him for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Let him be there.
Hey, Ali Gold.
Hi there, Jose. First off, just want to ask you if Eric Lamella's available for this match.
He is, but I don't know. But I think you understand what I want to mean. He can be selected tomorrow. He can. Legally, he can. But I still have a decision to make.
Okay, fair enough. The second thing I just want to ask you is actually about another young player, one who's not at the club at the moment, Oliver Skipp, getting lots of praise out on loan at Norwich. I just wondered, obviously, kind of what you've made of that, and also if you can, is there any temptation to bring him back, or is it better for his development to stay there and keep playing matches?
In a selfish perspective, would be good to bring him back now, but we are not selfish. The players are very important. The future is very important, and the best thing for him is to finish the season there, and very successful loan for us and also for Norwich. So we are very happy that he's playing well, he's playing to win titles, so he has that pressure on him too. He's playing 2-3 matches a week, so there is also a physical development. And next season is back, but we believe that for this season the best thing is to stay at Norwich, and he's also very happy with that.
Okay, we'll finish with Jack Pickbrook and then Paul Gill.
You were positive about Jedson Fernandez's performance on Sunday. Do you know if he will stay at Tottenham for the rest of the season or go back to Benfica?
I don't know. If he stays, I'm happy. Again, by a selfish point of view, I'm very happy if he stays, because he's a good player, and when we need him, we know that we have some quality coming from him. Of course, it's a pity that he's not in the Europa League list. We played already 9 matches in the Europa League. I would imagine that playing Europa League would be a much happier situation for him. But in a selfish look at it, I would like him to stay. But again, we are not selfish. We also think about the players, and in this case, we also think about the father club. So we have just to wait.
Thank you.
Finding Nicolas Gonzalez from Stuttgart.
Discussions with who? Not with me.
With the club? Is he a player you're interested in?
No.
And just finally, what did you make of Mesut Ozil saying he would rather retire than sign for Tottenham?
But who told him that Tottenham is interested in signing him?